think that's focused. Apologies if it's not focused, this hasn't got front facing camera on it. Anyway, hello tubes, good afternoon I believe. I think it's afternoon by now, yes, something like that. It's Saturday. I've just come back from getting the Mini MOT'd, that's all sorted. The MG is today's job. I've been to Caffeine Machine, obviously went to the GFB Development's very own little meet last weekend. Generally driven the car quite a lot. Noticed it was making some funny noises, and I know exactly what those noises are. The manifold. Yep, that manifold. 3 years, and it's finally given up the ghost. Well, it's not given up the ghost, it's cracked. And if you would like to put your attention to that black soot, now you see there, I knew last weekend it was having a problem, so just to stop it from leaking as much, I've basically got the gun out, the welder out, and just put a blob of weld there. It's not great, but it was just to get it dry in it so I could use it last weekend. Well, as you can see, the cracks obviously got worse because that nut, if I can get it to focus, that nut is completely bloody black, and it's obviously blackened part of the engine. So I'm going to have to take it off. Now this is not easy because it was a pain. It's completely not a pain. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to split the turbo, I think. So let's just move the light out of the way and hang it over. I will show you what I'm going to have to do. Take the manifold off. Oh, not the manifold, the exhaust downpipe. Obviously, I'm going to have to leave this part of the turbo on. That's a bit warm, and I will part it and slide it out on for this side of it. So I have to take all this off as well. Believe I'm going to have to take the actuator arm off as well, and then have basically the exhaust hot end of the turbo come off with the manifold, because the nuts are a pain in the backside to do, and I don't really want to disturb it because it's not been leaking, and I should be able to pull it forward and take it off. It doesn't mean the drain's going to have to be come undone, which is a complete, absolute bloody twat just down there, and I can't get it from the bottom, I remember that now, so I have to do it from the top. Getting it undone's alright, getting it back on is a complete pain, so we'll try. First thing we'll do, we'll get the turbo ancillaries taken off. Doing that makes it a bit easier. Actual fact, we shouldn't need to, thinking about it. No, we will, because that'll come off on its own, won't it? So, flat head. Gives me a reason to build something in the garage away from people with coronavirus, doesn't it? For now. Right. Tight. There we go. That's the actuator done. Right, down pipe. Cool. Use the socket. There we go. Question is, can I get to that one with a socket on? So as you can see, the exhaust is downpiped off. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to split the turbo. There's a 10mm nut on a basically, I'm trying to think what they're called. V-clamp? I think it's called a V-clamp that holds the turbo compressor to the housings on both sides, which actually I think it's just to the back end. The front end's got a big C-clip on it. Yeah, it was just basically to the hot side. So we'll undo that, and I'm hoping I don't have to take off the drain, because that's part of the cartridge. So if I could take it off and pull it forward, it's going to make it a bit easier, innit? Let's see. Okay, so I've split the casing, and it was a V-band, get the words right. So the V-band the nut had actually gnawed. The threads are all gnawed, sorry. And you can see, that's just, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but that's all gnawed, that is knackered. So I'll put a new one on there. So now, in theory, the cartridge should have enough to come forward. So I think that might make it easier when I come to pull the their manifold out. There should be enough movement, even on the AN line at the bottom, for that to come pretty much all the way out. I think. Let me have a look underneath. Well, not underneath. But yeah, it's the AM line should come over. No reason why that wouldn't move over. So, let's see whether we can take that fully out. Push it down the side. Yeah, without fucking it up. There's some up and down, no in and out movement on there. Perfect. Right, so I'll try and get that back slightly in without knackering it up. Now that will be easier when the turbo manifold's pulled out, because I'll be able to push that in, then get the manifold in place. So what I will do is I think I'll put a glove, rubber gloves, just down the back while I undo the nuts. It doesn't fucking them blades up. There we go. Like so. There. Should stop them from getting knackered. Right, now it's time for the manifold studs. There's no point in me keeping the camera rolling for them because they're a pain in the backside and it's not really good footage. So I'll be back in a moment when I've got that one done. Here we go. Yeah. You can see the pieces of weld I just shoved in there trying to get around the problem, but that didn't work. So I'm going to grind all that back and make it look good and then weld it up. See in a moment, I'll put it on the bench so you can have a closer look. You can see they weren't great welds. It was while I was on the car I just pigeon pooed it to try and make it stop it from the exhaust gas coming out, and it caused me a problem when I was driving. The rest of it is alright, it's not cracked, it's just there. Now I know the manifold's slightly warped, only tiny, because I linished it to make it flatter, if you remember quite a long time ago. Well, there you can see where it's cracked. So I'm going to grind all this bit down, grind all in there, and we'll turn the welder right up, and we'll get a good nice bead and penetration in there, and it'll be good to go again. And I'll probably take the rest of the manifold wrap off, check it all, clean it, and then paint it, and then put it back on. But I think putting it back on might be tomorrow's job now. But the rest of it is alright. Whee! Nearly fell out the bench. Why did that fall out of there then? It was locked in tight. Anyway, let's get sorted. What we'll do first is we'll get the flat wheel and we'll flap that back to get most of it out, and then we'll get the power file and power file it down, so that'll take a bit longer. You can see where the crack's gone all the way around. I think I'm going to have to grind into that more to get that out. It doesn't seem to be anywhere else where it's done it. So what I may do is I think I'll tack it down to this plate. Tack it in all the corners. And then for when I weld it I can really put some thick weld in there. Okay, we're back in the room. See that there? Watch. Should. See my finger? So that's where it's gone. That's what we'll do. Is we'll try and grind out a bit more, and then I think I'll weld that from the back as well, because I can feel a ridge. So it's not going to help. So we'll weld that from the back as well. Yes. Well, at least we know where it failed. You can see the crack all the way around. Look at that. there's the issue. Get the power file out, and power file, I think I will weld from the back side first, but I'll power file all this clean and just basically clear up that bit, and then I can weld from the top. But that's the problem. I think when I made it, yeah, you see that side's exactly flush, that side's just off, so I think it's obviously that's the weakest point, and it's gone. I'm just checking with anywhere else. That one's a bit the same, but it's fine. That one's not a problem. Yeah, so they're alright. Slightly not port matched on that one and that one, but there we go, guys. Let's try and get it to focus a bit better. Welded it 3 times now. You can just see with that little ridge, but that should be alright. But yeah, welded it 3 times now. Really, I should TIG weld it, but my cylinder's pretty much, well, it is out. It's empty. So I couldn't TIG weld that up, really. But the next one will be TIGged with probably the same stuff, but in stainless instead, because I've got loads of stainless rods. Right, it's the next day, and the manifold is on top of the fire. Just going to get it a bit warm so I can put a bit more heat-proof paint on, try and get that. There's no light above the log burner, I'm afraid. Just get a bit more heat-proof paint on, and then I will wrap that section, put it on the car, and then re-wrap the whole lot. I've got this extra wrap to go over the top of this, but I want to get it just a bit warm, so when I put the paint on, it'll dry a bit quicker. So that's the idea now. The moment, it shouldn't take me too long. Unfortunately, it's peeing down my range, so I don't really want to put the Capri outside. So I'm going to battle with it while the Capri is in the kind of the way. I mean, I've got plenty of room in here if other stuff had been moved out of the way, but it doesn't really matter. I can do it without damaging the car. We'll pull the sheet over so I don't damage that. But the idea is to get that bit on, get it back on, and that's kind of it for today. I do need to. I did notice the stud came out with the turbo. Which is somewhere around here, so I need to find that and take the nut off it and put the stud back in. So, oh, is that it? Let's have a look. I think that's it. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. So for some reason, the stud came out. It looks a bit gnarled, that. Notice it looks a bit gnarled there. I might have to run tools down it. Yeah, I'll have to rethread that. We'll see how I get on. That nut there needs to come off. Probably put a new nut on it. It's a bit weird why it's done that though. Anyway, alright, we'll get this painted. Then I can. I'll have to cover the Capri before I paint it. Then we can get it ready to go back on and get this sorted. I'll tell you what, let's get this sorted first. Now what we're going to do, I don't know whether you can see it on the camera. Yeah. So we're going to cut right up against that nut. So we'll tighten the nut up slightly, and then what we do is we'll back the nut off, so it kind of gets the burr away off that thread. Okay, that shouldn't move now. As close as we can to that nut. Makes it a little bit longer stud, but it should be alright. Sure, just punch that, the thread that's hanging out the back, so it stops it from backing out, but I don't want to worry about it too much, to be honest. And that is the stud done. So we'll give it another lick of paint just on that bottom bit. Arguably, yes, we're going to get paint on this, but it just burn off anyway. You don't really want to be unwrapping all that. The rest of it I know is fine, but we'll just put it on the fire, give that a bit of lick of paint, and then it can wait for that to dry, and then it will go back on the car. Turbo is on. Ready to be tried again next week or in a couple of weeks.